Let's bring in Kyle VanDeventer. He's the sales director over at Griffin Claw Brewing Company, and along with him, Christopher Lasher. He's the marketing director. Great to have the two of you with us here on the MegaCast.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Happy reopening, although the reopening comes with restrictions. How are you trying to accommodate your guests, but also playing by the new protocols?
Yeah, so we just, we did it once before. It was when it was at 50%, so it wasn't a huge transition to go down to 25%. And then we're just, we've been pretty good at adapting and staying safe. I think our staff is amazing. So yeah, we've got everything spaced out, different hours, of course, and then we'll have the lower capacity, but it'd just be nice to get people inside and stay warm. And we have, updated filtration systems and everything like that.
So you guys have been able to do outdoor dining though, right?
Yep. So, and it was actually pretty busy, which was interesting. The amount of people not at the same time, but just a steady flow of people willing to eat out in the cold. We did have heaters, and we got some extra heaters from the city of Birmingham, but yeah, it's been real interesting.
So with that, going forward, how much has this impacted your bottom line? And if the restrictions continue and we go back through another shutdown, how long do you think you could survive?
Well,
yeah, so for us, we're a little bit different business model. So not only do we have our two tap rooms in Rochester Hills and Birmingham, but we also have a very healthy distribution model behind the two tap rooms. So, we get the luck of the draw when it comes to, the retailers, the Kroger, the Meijer, that kind of give us a different revenue stream. So we get the benefit of something that a lot of restaurants don't have. We also become a little bit of a destination because of that distribution model. So, our Tuesdays through Thursdays, we kind of have this home feeling where the people around us in the city of Birmingham kind of help us out and love to get away from the house a little bit. And then the weekends turns into a little bit of a destination from the people outside of our little local area. So we get the benefit of that. But even with it shut down, we were doing pretty good. I think people felt safe here. I think people felt that we were taking a lot of precautions and didn't have the same type of nervous Nelly feelings as you normally would going out in such a pandemic.
And another thing to add, real quick, is that we never used to do carryout before the pandemic. We offered it, but it wasn't a big part of our business. But it's been pretty amazing to see. We added online ordering and call ahead ordering, and our staff was able to quickly adapt to a more carryout model, and that really recouped a lot of our lost revenue. So all in all, it's been tough, and there's been hurdles and challenges, but we're doing okay.
So do you think that's going to stick around post-pandemic?
Yeah, it did. So after the first shutdown and when we went back to indoor dining, it still stayed very strong, the carryout. So I do think it's going to be a long-term thing for us.
Yeah, we've had to alter even the tap rooms. We had to create a little to-go section, a place where carryouts were, stacked and stored, and we have, parking spots devoted to carryout now. We never had that before. Yeah, it's a whole different model, and I think that's going to stay strong. I think people, I know as someone that lives in downtown Royal Oak, I get a lot more delivery than I'm used to. So I think that's a model that'll stay true.
Yeah, that's one thing about this entire ordeal. Businesses have been able to adapt, and sometimes those adaptations have turned out to be a good thing. So that is nice. But have you found too that when it comes to some of the places such as yourself, I live in Kegel Harbor, it's a small town, it really is, the locals are going to the local restaurants and bars because it's like you said, it's like our own little bubble, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, we're kind of right in a neighborhood over here too, and I think we get a lot of the people right in the very local neighborhood as well. And it's just been I think a lot of them actually go out of their way to show support by whether it's getting carry out or dining outside or anything like that. So it has been a really nice community support.
Yeah, at the beginning when we shut down the first time last March, I had myself, Lasher, and our whole sales team. We were the ones that were doing the to-go orders, and I got to know a lot more people. Usually I'm either behind a desk or out in the market, not actually in the restaurant. So I got to know our local favorites. The same guy that would come every Tuesday for root beer. I got to know him very well, and he still shows up. So it's more of a family sense than what I thought or what I knew, and I love our little community.
And does it help you also share the story behind the beer and how you make some of the, some of the marketing or some of your drinks and your food that you make?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, so we popped up on the scene 7 years ago, and not a lot of people knew the backstory or the history that, we started at Big Rock down the road. And I think a lot of this has turned our story into something different. And we got to express not only our history or our backstory, but the people that put this out there. Oftentimes you see our beer on a shelf out in Kroger or Meijer, and you really don't know who we are, what we do. And I think in the last 365 days, we've gotten an opportunity to not only show our local community, but Metro Detroit, Southeast Michigan, all of that, got to show them who we really are and what we do. And we're a lot more than just a silver can you see out in public.
So you had mentioned earlier about working with the city of Birmingham. What's this been like to have to reach out to the government entity? Because typically before, when you're starting a new business, you may go in, get a permit, sign this, sign that. But during this time, I think we're relying on our elected leaders and those that run our government offices in a different way. Have they reached out to you as business owners to try to help see you through the pandemic?
Yeah, they did. That was actually how we found out about the what they were doing with giving out supplies. So they reached out to us and all the other local restaurants in Birmingham to get on, sign up for different supplies. So we went down to the fire department where they were passing it out, and they handed us 6 propane heaters, propane tanks, and some way to disperse sanitizer that was more efficient. And then we get propane exchanges as well, that we can go every week and get propane exchanges. So yeah, they actually reached out to us. It was really nice. And we appreciate it. Of course, we donated a ton of we still donate a lot of sand because we make sanitizer and to them. So I think that we have a really good relationship so far. But yeah, it has been interesting. It's nice to see them help a little bit. So
that's good with the propane, because I know for a lot of businesses that have the outdoor dining, that's a huge part of their bill, because it really adds up that
huge
cost.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you go through a tank a night on one heater sometimes.
So with that, I have to ask, you make the hand sanitizer. I have seen yours on some of the tables at area restaurants, but with that, I haven't purchased yours. I did buy some, I think, from 2 James way back in the beginning. But it smelled so much like alcohol. I was like, I've never put more alcohol on the outside of my body,
Yeah, that's what it is.
Have you guys been able to adapt the recipe a little bit through the months?
Basically, the thing was, during the beginning, we actually had quite a bit stocked up of what's called neutral grain spirits, which is, so we make liquor in addition to beer. And liquor is just essentially a beer recipe that's then, after it's fermented, it's distilled down into grain neutral spirits, which is anywhere from like 150 to 180 proof. And then, so basically we take that, it's just a clear liquor, it's just straight alcohol, ethyl alcohol, and we dilute it down to the minimum. The FDA requirements is 60%. We go 70 because we did a little research and found that too much alcohol is not good, and too little alcohol is also not good. And like the sweet spot's kind of 70%. So we go with 70 to stay safe. But yeah, what the FDA did was they dropped some of their restrictions or their regulations down so for the emergency production of sanitizer. But with that came guidance that said you weren't allowed to use certain other products. So you can use, there's like, I think 5 ingredients you're allowed to use. And of course there's alcohol, water, glycerol, which is like the gel that makes it spread more on your hands. But that was basically what their emergency guidance was. So we wanted to stick to that. And in order to go out, add different ingredients like aloe and things like that, you have to go outside of their requirements, and then you have to go through a full FDA approval process, which is very time consuming. So I think for the emergency order, it was just getting the actual FDA approved product into people's hands, which is why you see a lot of just basically straight liquor out there.
So with that, when you guys are making it, are you worried when you're driving home if you get pulled over? I always imagine this conversation. No, officer, I'm sorry, I haven't been drinking, but I have been putting hand sanitizer on, right? But the good thing is,
Yeah, a lot of
so many police departments, I know that entities such as yours, you've delivered a lot of it to the police departments and the fire department. So at least they're going through it just as well along with the rest of us, right?
Yeah, exactly. They'll pull us over and we'll just hand them a bottle of sanitizer.
Yeah, I mean, the state of Michigan is actually the people that took the most sanitizer from us. I think it was, upwards of 70% of the sanitizer that we made either went to, the state of Michigan, hospitals, frontline, government. It was a lot. It was trying to get it into the right place, the right time. And then in the same sense, I mean, we still sell it at the tap room, and it still is, purchased quite a bit.
Wow. See, look at that. Out of a crisis comes a new side business for you as well. Hey, can we talk a little bit about your employees? So while you have been able to remain open, there are some smaller entities that have closed just because, for whatever reason, where they were located didn't allow for them to have outdoor dining, or carry out wasn't enough to sustain them being open. But you've allowed to remain open, but what's this been like for your employees? And are you worried that you're not going to be able to get employees to come back?
Yeah, it's been a concern, but we actually ended up hiring people in addition. So that's how busy we kind of got with the outdoor. The only people that didn't, so during the first shutdown, all the servers and bartenders didn't work because we were completely shut down and just carry out only. And, with the benefits they received from the state of, the government, unemployment and things like that, ended up working out okay for them, especially the first time around with that extra money. And then we actually did a tip pool. All our tips went to them in the beginning, and things like that we earned from carry out. So, but anyone that wanted to come back came back. And then during this most recent one, we had to hire a couple additional people. So we actually posted some ads and hired people. And then we haven't really had I think the thing that they're most excited about is just to be warm, because like their poor taproom staff has been working in an outdoor environment in the middle of, January, and it's been hard on them. So I think they're excited about coming back and just being warm. We're bringing back even more people, like our hosts and hostesses and bussers that we didn't have on. So I think it's going to be good for everyone.
Yeah, and as brewery operations, the brewery has been consistently busy. That hasn't stopped. It actually has escalated. We've actually hired more people on the brewery side as well. So no one was laid off. No one was let go in this whole process. And we're very grateful and very lucky to be in the situation that we're in.
Yeah, because they do say everyone's drinking a lot more. Liquor sales and beer sales have been through the roof right now during this time. So did you guys reopen?
Yeah, they always say, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so we're closed on every Monday. We're always closed on Mondays. So our first indoor opening would be today.
Oh, wow. So this is the first big day for you guys. I will say, if it's like anything at our local restaurants here in the Kegel area, they looked packed yesterday. So that is a good thing. I think people are so desperate just to get out, because one thing we've all learned, it's not just about the meal, it's about the atmosphere as well. And just getting to see like people again, right?
Yeah, just to slice of normalcy is, I think, what people are excited about, going back to a time that wasn't so crazy, hopefully.
So when you guys were doing outdoor, and I know you said you're going to be keeping it around as well, do you take reservations for that? How is it working?
No, it's a first come first serve basis. We do have like one of our managers as a host at the door, and they seat people to make sure that social distancing and we're following all those other regulations. But we don't do reservation. We never have, because our tap room's actually, before the pandemic, was set up more as a like beer hall almost, where it's like communal seating where you could sit down at a table with strangers. Obviously now, not so much due to, we only let 6 people from the same group at a table. But we do have a thing that's called wait list on the Yelp app. So when we get to like where we're too busy and at our capacity, we utilize this wait app, so people can get in like a digital line to wait to get in, and they can sit in their cars, or they can even do it from their house and then come when they're getting closer to the front of the line. So while we don't have reservations, we do utilize that, which seems to work out pretty well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to do it. And with that, how important has social media been for you and your company during this time?
Crucial, yeah, just to get the word out on any new change, especially, the first shutdown. Also, we had a new thing every day. Every day was a new something that we were even selling groceries for a little bit. And especially now, just letting people know, what we're doing and our new products, or, what our rules are and things like that. It's been very crucial.
So how concerned are you as, the leaders of a team about COVID-19 outbreaks? Because despite all of the protocols that any place puts in place, the virus is still out there, and we know it. And when it comes to having a staff, if you get so many members of a staff and then everyone has to quarantine, we've seen it at restaurants. It's happened before, and they have to close down. It can be devastating.
Yeah, it sure can. And luckily we've been fortunate. I think just with our people have been really good about wearing their mask at all times, even when we're not open and things like that. We haven't had really like an outbreak, but it's still a risk and a concern at all times. So we just hope that everyone kind of follows the guidelines that come in, and we're doing it, of course, at all times. So hoping that, just trying to minimize the risk as best we can. It is a scary time though.
You just got to follow policies, procedures, and keep yourself safe. And if someone does get it, we have policies and procedures to follow after that. So it's a lot of P's and Q's and dotting your I's and crossing your T's and just making sure that we're all safe at all times.
Yeah, this has definitely been a learning curve. Quickly before I let you guys go, because I've been taking up too much of your time, but you're one of my favorite restaurants to go to, but I will say I haven't been there during the pandemic because I stay for the most part here close to home. But I know that before they put out that restaurants were supposed to be taking names and numbers, and then it was a recommendation. Is that still in place under the reopening, or is that still just a recommendation and it's gone away?
I believe it's still in place. We do it. I just read some more details on the most recent mandate the other day, and I did see it in there. So I do think it is, whether it's recommended or mandated, it's still something that they're trying to have people do. And we have been doing it even with just outdoor dining, and we're going to continue doing it with the new one. So we're, covering our bases.
I will say it's been fun to go into some of the local restaurants where they just have the book out for people to sign.
Yeah.
Of course, Jenny, 8675309 is listed quite often.
Yeah, there's some interesting names.
Right? And I'm sure you'll be singing that the rest of the afternoon as well. But again, thank you both for being with us. Anything I didn't ask that you want to share? What are your hours?
We have 2 different locations with different hours. Right here in Birmingham, we're open from 3 to 9 during the week. And then on Friday, Saturday, it's noon to 10, and then Sunday, noon to 8. But up in Rochester Hills at our Griffin Claw Clubhouse, right off Crooks and M59, they're open at noon during the week. So they're noon to 9, I believe, Tuesday through Thursday, and then noon to 10 on the weekends.
So do you guys have the full menu or a limited menu right now? Because I need some mac and cheese.
Nope, it's a full
Full.
menu.
That's great. That's great. Well, it's been great having the two of you on with us. We so appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you.